From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
It's a big day of home LA, direct and live from Santa Monica, California, with your fourth stimulus check update of 2022. Boy, what a beautiful day it is, and what a great day it is for your recon. With a push underway to get that recon done, I have new comments from the White House, Bernie, Ron Klain, and more about this big recon. But could the money at stimulus check be coming to you sooner with a CR for stimulus? Are the latest details in this big, bold, beautiful live recording. But you know what Home LA is about. It's not only about your incredible money, but also the beauty of it all. We're going to go over the recon and the passage of it in the House to be next in the Senate. The big checks in that incredible recon that will be added to the $15,000 of checks, including that MSC, but a push underway to put a check into another body of legislation before the recon. Third stimulus being repeated in fourth stimulus and the opportunity to get it across the board, plus student loan debt forgiveness, the latest details of that. Fifth stimulus, the latest details of that. But you know what Home LA is about? It's about food, eating some more, beauty, and more. In today's recording, we go over a different topic slightly on home decor, on home, which is how to get the right scent for cologne and perfume for pennies on the dollar, and actually how to do it if you don't even know the person you're buying the stuff for. Whoa, that sounds like a complex equation. Sounds like something for the problem creators or the problem solvers. Maybe they should just stay to perfumes and stay away from our stimulus. Those details and more. I'll be jumping in the live chat and interacting with you because I think you smell beautiful. You just smell beautiful. You are beautiful and you smell beautiful. Those details and more as we go into big hysterical live broadcast. It's Home LA. It's live from Santa Monica, and the excitement starts right here, right now. And I'm excited for you. And we're beginning this moment from Santa Monica, California. Hey, it's a good day about how you do it. Well, that recon passed the House of Representatives, and we have bad audio again. What a day it is. The House of Representatives passed that incredible recon and is now in the Senate. And the Senate checks could be robust across the board. I think I know what it is, actually. The Senate checks going on top of that existing recon. Oh, wow, incredible details coming up in today's recording. Then we'll go to the big money that is already in that recon and the additional checks across the board, what you need to know. We'll be turning back into the big exciting details you need to know about this recon and each of these incredible checks with third stimulus being repeated across the board. Student loan debt forgiveness, the latest details on that. Plus fifth stimulus and the latest details on that. And then you know what Home LA is all about. It is about the beauty, the scent, and all the deliciousness that's coming up in the second half of this video. But first, I want you part of this incredible family. And go under this video right now and subscribe. I want you part of the incredible family and hit that subscribe button. The audio will clear up just shortly in just a moment. Hit that subscribe button. You're watching LA, the number 3 most watched financial news channel in America. Live in the morning, taped in the afternoons. We got a big recording across the board today. Hit that subscribe button. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Burrow Power, or Calcino VIP. That incredible recon passed in the House of Representatives in the month of November is now in the Senate and has 3 clusters of checks and 3 add-ons. We're going to go over each of them starting right now. That clusters pay out a lot, at least $15,000 of checks with 3 add-ons and 3 clusters. Let's go over cluster number 1, hazard pay, and $4,000 of elder care. They got it in there. They got in there $4,000 elder care, $4,000 of care for young children, $4,000 for elder care, for money to repair the home, $12,500 for purchase a new electric vehicle, $550 Pell Grant check as well. And there you go. The first add-on at checks comes from the illustrious Maxine Water. She got it in there, and boy, is it incredible. That $25,000, no, she got a little bit less. This is purchase of your first home. She got it in there, and wow, here we go. She wanted to give you big money for the purchase of your first home. This would be given to the seller in your name by the federal government at the time of escrow. Well, there we go. Let's go to the second ad of cluster of checks, and the incredible details starts right here, right now, and cluster number 2 starts with the home repairs and also the paid leave. Paid leave is a lot of money. $1,700 a week if you make $70,000 or more per year. $800 a week if you make $80,000 or more per year. $35,000 or more per year. If you make $15,000 or more per year, it is $400 a week. How many weeks? Up to 4 weeks per year. It's incredibleness across the board. And there you go. The home repairs, on the other hand, is to weatherize your home needed across the board. Now, going back to that paid leave, how many weeks and how much money is this? Well, it's up to 4 weeks per year, so this is $5,000 to $6,000. W-2, 1099, you all qualify for these incredible sums of money. And if you don't work, but your son or daughter does work and has to take off from work once a week to take you to the doctor's office, they would get the check. Remember, this is W-2, 1099. You all get this money. Let's go to then the second add-on of checks comes from us, Bob Casey. $250 billion of it, and well, it is in there. This is money for free home health care and seniors on disabilities. Let's go to now the third cluster of checks, and here we go. We got in there the money for free internet and also the seniors, the big other items we're going to go over right now. They got in there the incredible money for nutrition, $65 per month. They got in there free internet, the money for the farmers, the money for free internet. And then for the seniors, incredible. We have not money, but actually benefits. On the house side, they got in there the incredible benefits of the Medicaid gap fix and the hearing. On the sad side, they vow to add in their dental vision and lowering the eligibility age of Medicare across the board, which is par for the course of when we're talking about the next provision. It's something the senators would add in there. And you know what it is. It is MSC. MSC, monthly IRS stimulus check. What is it? How much does it pay? How do you get it? When do you get it? I have all those incredible details. It's coming up in just a second. As a big home LA continues, and guess what? I have the incredible push to get a check out sooner rather than later. It's coming up after the commercial break. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as Home LA continues live from Santa Monica, California. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now with the audio cleared up. Yes, here we go. That incredible recon has so much incredible money across the board. We're going to go over all that incredible money started right now, direct from Santa Monica, California. But we're going to start first with the MSC, which is where we left off at. Who gets it? Where do you get it? How much? Eligibility? Where's it? Let's go over all the incredible details of it right now. What is an MSC? It stands for multiple IRS stimulus check or monthly IRS stimulus check. There are multiple checks in this recon, the Build Back Better Act, the BBB, the social spending plan, whatever you call it. multiple checks, but this is a different body of programs where the checks go out from IRS. That's why we call it the monthly IRS stimulus check. Okay, so who gets it? Let's go over the details of that starting right now. The legislators back in the month of May last year said eligibility would be the same as a third stimulus check. So, how does that work? Single individuals, $75,000 less, you would get it if that's your annual income. Married couples, $150,000 less annual income, you would get it, double it. Family of four, quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, you would get it as well. The MSC would also be paid out to adult dependents across the board. Now, let's go to some nuances. Is it income? It's not income. Is it offered certain states and not certain states? No, this is set up by IRS. IRS is a federal agency. This is part of the Recon, which is a federal program. And yet daily, I still get very strange tweets from people saying it's not offered in their state. It's just very, very peculiar. So if you see anyone ever saying something like it's not offered in my state, folks, this is a nationwide program. Nothing covered on this channel is this is not a state coverage channel. This is a financial news channel that covers nationwide financial news across the board. All right, so that is the eligibility. Well, how much? How much is the big question? Let's go over that right now. Back in the month of May, all the way to the present, those legislators have said the amount would be the following. $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter for up to 6 months. It's incredible, which then brings us to the question of when, how, and then is there a way to get it out even earlier than initially thought? We're going to go over all those incredible details starting right now. So MSC is part of the Build Back Better Act as an add-on, but that the event of adding things into the Build Back Better Act has not occurred just yet. Why? The Build Back Better Act was passed in the House in November 2021. And the event in which senators make changes has not happened yet. Senators view bodies of legislation as the House does their thing, we as senators do our thing. Senators haven't done their thing yet, but all those senators said they're adding stuff to the recon. So let's make it very clear. This is approximately how much was written for the recon in 2021 by House members. Everything, all those checks in there, about $60,000 of checks are staying in there. The senators want to add checks on top of that. They haven't had that event yet. When that event happens, it would go to the Senate subcommittee. The senators would add provisions in it. Then we would have a Senate bill. We don't have a Senate bill just yet. Then it would go to a Senate floor vote, pass, and then to a 2-day vote-a-rama, adding additional things across the board. So we don't have it there yet. We don't have a Senate bill. House bill is not the Senate bill. It is one step of 3 steps for something to become law: House, Senate, and President. Now, what's important for you to do is ensure you advocate for the inclusion of any provision in this recon you want, whether it is the home repairs, whether it's the first-time home purchases, or whether it's the MSE. And pick up that phone and advocate to those legislators, because you need to remind them at least once a week that you need this incredible money. And who are those legislators you want to advocate to? Senators. Let's go over their names and who they are right now. You want to advocate to Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. Pick up the phone once a week and speak to their staff. If you speak to a staffer, make note of who it is. So next time you call in, you say, hey, it's me again. Remember me from last month? I do. I want to tell you why I need the money. Now, do not ask, is it in there? Because the there doesn't exist yet. Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. Which tees us up for something totally different, which you're only here on this channel. You only saw on this channel, and you're only seeing again on this channel. It's called CR for stimulus. A push is underway from me again and you again since last Saturday for something we made history with in 2020. It's called CR for stimulus. Let's talk about generally what it is before we go into specifics. The concept is the following. The Fourth Stimulus Recon, the Build Back Better Act, whatever you call it, is a body of legislation that has to be passed by the Senate and ain't going to be passed today or tomorrow or next week. But you need checks. You need money right now. In addition to the third stimulus, which you can get right now, you want an additional check. How about getting a check into something other than the Build Back Better Act before they finish the Build Back Better Act? And then when they get to the Build Back Better Act, then they do the MSCs and all those other checks then. Sound good? That's why viewers like the idea. The concept is called CR for stimulus, and we've seen it before. Let's take a step back down memory lane. In spring of 2020, we watched as first stimulus was finishing up under the Trump administration, and we were ready for the focus on a new body of legislation, second stimulus. The negotiators, Nancy Pelosi for the Democrats. For the Republicans, Steve Mnuchin, then Treasury Secretary. The negotiations started in spring of 2020, continued in the summer, continued in the fall. By the winter, we said, what's going on here? It's taking too long. It had been months. So one night I thought, you know what? There's a way to maybe figure this out. And one of the ways to figure this out is to put a stimulus check into something other than the second stimulus package. Now, we had talked about standalone bills. We talked about executive orders. There are a lot of different concepts out there. But this one made more sense. Why? Because they got to do this thing. What is the thing called? The continuing resolution is often what it's referred to. The federal government every few months, almost every 6 months, has to do a budget bill. The money is to fund the operation of the federal government, the parks, the federal buildings, and the federal offices. They have to have that money allocated every few months. If they don't, federal government shuts down. Federal government defaults. Guess what? They always get it done. It may be delayed a few days or a day or a week, but it's not delayed a few months. It's a deadline they have. It's a deadline they meet. And it's a deadline they get things done. Sound good? It was good. So at that point, I said, why not put a stimulus check into the continuing resolution, because it has a deadline. They can't sort of drag their feet on that one. They have to get the continuing resolution done. Just put a check in there and get it out. So I went on air in December 2020. I said, what about a stimulus check in the CR? The campaign I launched on this channel, the creation I launched on this channel, the idea I launched on this channel was called hashtag C as in Charles, R as in Robert, the number 4 stimulus. The concept is very simple. Advocate for the inclusion of a stimulus check in the continuing resolution, which at that time was due in December 2020. Very simple concept. Nancy and Steve weren't getting it done for second stimulus. Put a stimulus check in the CR. I already had prepared for the reaction to it. I knew what the purple power, the viewership of this channel was going to say, but I also knew what the naysayers would say. More about that in a second. So I went on there, I said, do you like it? Viewers liked it. So we pushed, and immediately the naysayers came in, but I was ready for them. This is what exactly they said, and it was exactly what I predicted them to say. Crazy idea, LALATE. A stimulus check does not belong in a budget bill because the budget bill is to fund the federal government. Why are we sending out a check to the American people for a budget bill to fund the federal government? My response was already ready. I understand. And in fact, I agree. It doesn't belong in there. A stimulus check does not belong in a continuing resolution. But Congress has historically, for decades and decades, had things in bills that don't belong in there. And at a time of need, this is a time to put something in there for us, the American people, that doesn't belong in there because we're owed this. Let's go over what was happening. Over many decades, Congress has put into bodies of legislation, money and checks for different things that just don't belong with the name of that bill. They were doing it during the pandemic. During the pandemic, they had COVID relief bills where they're sending money to foreign governments that had nothing to do with COVID. Giving money to launch and build a brand new federal building had nothing to do with COVID. Giving money to federal agencies like the Department of Copyrights had nothing to do with copyrights regarding COVID. So I said, put it in there. I know it doesn't belong, and get it out the door. We pushed, you pushed. I made the recordings, you pushed. They thought I was crazy. That's expected. And then suddenly, one morning we woke up and they said, we have put stimulus in the CR. We held our breath, and when we looked and we realized, they put unemployment stimulus in the CR. Not what we're asking for. They put an extension of unemployment benefits in the continuing resolution of December 2020. Good, but not what we asked for. We asked for a stimulus check. So we pushed again, and it was in there. Finally in there. Then it was out. Then we pushed again and got in there. A $600 stimulus check for the American people in a continuing resolution budget bill of December 2020. It was what I came up with and created, and it became law. Because of me and because of you. The second stimulus check that was sent out to the American people, $600 in December 2020, was my creation on this channel from CR for Stimulus. So last Saturday, I looked at the current situation. I said, you know what? It looks a lot like CR for Stimulus 2020. Months of negotiations have gone on. When did we first see forced stimulus on this channel? People think it's July. It's not July. It's much earlier. I think my very first recording, because I was the first person to record anything with the title forced stimulus. People were still on third stimulus when I went over to forced stimulus. I think the first recording may have been February. I know it's at least April of 2021. So it's the same long duration as Steve and Nancy from 2020, now in 2021. Number two, negotiations still not progressing. Joe versus Nancy versus Steve. And number three, no inherent deadline. There's no deadline to get this Build Back Better Act done, just like a second stimulus. So I said, look at my notes. I show there's a budget bill due in February. Ding, 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 deadline. Ding, 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 CR for stimulus 2022. So I delivered that on air on Saturday. I said to viewers, do you like it? And they said yes. And the rest is history. So when you advocate to those legislators for anything in the recon, you may also want to advocate for CR for stimulus. If you're on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, certainly Twitter and Instagram, I've delivered new imagery, new videos that you can retweet and tag elected officials that have the imagery that you see in this video of the surfers and the beach and similar, but has the title CR for stimulus. Message is very clear. Advocate to those legislators saying, we need the money out right now. Advocate to them because they need that money to go out. CR for stimulus. It's important to get it out across the board. And on Afternoons LATE today and Evenings LATE, which are totally brand new shows later today, we're going to go over more about CR for stimulus. The 3 o'clock afternoon show is brand new. The 5 o'clock evening show is brand new. It's coming up right after that. But now, because you know what Home LATE is about, we go over first your stimulus, and then we go into a home issue. More about the stimulus for just a second before we get to the home issue. So, a couple of quick things I want to go over with you, overview, are the following. One, you're going to see on Afternoons LATE today where I talk about that the progressives and the moderate Democrats are really not handling this Build Back Better Act well. Bernie Sanders, a series of comments in the last 24 hours, was talking about the SALT caps are out. They're not out. That's the moderate Democrats' provisions, the recon. And then he says it's a horrible provision. It's not a horrible provision for anyone. It doesn't take money from the progressives. It doesn't take any money from Bernie's provisions. And in fact, he's misaligning it, and he's just really being negative towards the moderate Democrats for reasons that make no sense. The SALT cap is not a bad provision. It doesn't hurt anyone, and it doesn't make rich people rich, as Bernie Sanders wants to portray. On the other side of the coin is often where the moderate Democrats go after Bernie for reasons that make no sense. What's at issue is that these people need to put their differences aside as Democrats with Democrats and get the body of legislation out the door. There's a series of other events that are unfolding, and they're going to be featured on Afternoons LATE at 3 o'clock, and I want you to know that they do not impact your recon being passed. Vladimir Putin's potential invasion of Ukraine and Russian troops looming on the potential horizon. Does that impact your recon? It does not. It does not mean they're not going to do your recon because they're busy with Vladimir. Number two, the issue of the Federal Reserve coming in and raising interest rates in the month of March. Does it impact your recon? It doesn't hurt it. It could help it because inflation is really strong and is getting worse. On Afternoons LATE, I also talk about the threat of Omicron will raise inflation more. Then we talk about Ron Klain. It's spelled Klain. Just butcher that again. Klain. He's the president's chief of staff. He's a big problem for the recon. He is a problem for the recon. He has 3 problems that are surrounding him. One, he is first not prioritizing the recon. Number 2, he is creating a personality conflict, which I just featured really in this video, which is really tailoring his administration or the White House's administration to the progressives and isolating the moderate Democrats. Ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna work because there's not enough of a margin in the Senate among Democrats to be losing your Democratic senator support. And finally, the last one, which is that he's really leaving Republicans out to left field and and really isolating them as well. So the Ron Klain situation is not fixed. It needs to get fixed. As we go into Afternoons LATE, I'll show you the issue about that as well. But you know what Home LATE is about, and we have a lot of fun in today's recording. We have stuff we have never covered before. In recent days, you have seen me cover how to have beautiful white teeth, because people always ask about my teeth. Then last weekend we talked about the first of a two-part series about the skin for men and women. First, how to have very clean, very glowing skin. That was the first topic. Then we went over how to really bring out the tones of the skin. That was the yesterday's show. And today's show, we're going to do something a little bit different, which is the scent. How to bring a beautiful scent to a person, whether it's yourself, someone you know, or someone you don't know. People never talk about this stuff. And it's really actually complicated. So I'm explaining to you, how do you choose the right cologne or perfume for yourself, someone you don't know or someone you do know? And how do you go outside the box? Meantime, how do you do something that's economical and totally different? So let's start with the economical part of the equation. This is an oil. It's a very small container. So let me hold it up really tightly. It's a small oil. There's a smaller one. Here's a little larger one. I'm covering up the name. Here's a large oil. Now, these oils are a way in which to get your favorite perfume or cologne for pennies done differently. Let me tell you what's at issue. There's a lot of oil manufacturers that recreate the essence, not the direct, but the essence or the style of a cologne. And so it's not the exact scent, but it's a version of it. So, and what do? They put it into the oil. And rather than a perfume or a cologne, this is something multi-purpose for both men and women. The oil is very simple. Dab it on your skin, your face, done. Now, why do I like the oil? The oil lasts really long. It lasts the entire day. Number one, you can apply it in a more uniform way. Number two, it stays there until you shower. So you may use perfume and it may dissolve in a few hours. It may water down. This works brilliantly. And the price point, dollars, $2, $5 for a particular item that you would maybe pay $75 in your retail store for the actual original version of that perfume or cologne. Not available across the board. It's sort of hard to find these oils. A lot of them are in your state fairs, but you can also look them up online. Oils of perfumes and colognes, what an incredible way. Once you try it, you'll never go back to the original buying of the perfume and cologne. All right, now let's turn to a different version of the same subject matter. How do you buy this stuff, perfumes and colognes, for people you don't know? And if you're buying it for yourself and you're not in the store, how do you buy it as well? Okay, this is really strange. So in the universe of online shopping, you can look at a pair of pants or look at a pair of shoes and you say, oh, I like the color, I like this. How do you shop online for something that's a smell item that you can't smell? There's no solution to this problem yet. Metaverse hasn't solved the solution. How do you buy something online that is a smell product that you can't smell? This is where I learned this about 2-3 years ago. It is really fascinating. The way you do this is first you figure out what you are buying for. So people buy, let's just use a guy and cologne. A guy for cologne, he often would buy the cologne for different purposes. Maybe you buy the cologne because you're a stockbroker, you go to the office and you work 8-hour days, you want to smell professional. Okay, so that has its own unique purpose. You want to smell clean and fresh and professional. The same guy may also want a different smell for when he goes out to the bar and wants to be flirtatious. If it's date night with the lovely lady, then it's clearly a different cologne than you're wearing to work with your coworkers. Yeah, very, very different. There is a whole other type of cologne. Just so you're having a Saturday afternoon and you're going golfing with the buddies. So yeah, you're not wearing the seductive cologne with the buddies. You just want to have something fresh and light and airy. You don't want also something heavy for the office. You don't smell like you're at a banker's meeting either. So by isolating in your trajectory what you're buying for makes it so much easier. And trust me, you do have to buy different products. You have to buy a different product based upon what you're doing. Do I wear different scents based upon what I'm wearing it to? Absolutely. Absolutely. If I'm going out to a bar, I'm definitely wearing something different than if I'm going to a business meeting. If I'm just going out, to the beach and hanging out and walking around with friends, that's a whole nother scent. There's different universes of scents. So here's how I approach it, and maybe how you approach it as well. If you want a nighttime scent because it's for date or going out on the town with your significant other, that is a romantic, seductive scent you're going for. You're not going for a business scent. You're not going for a bland, just got out of the shower scent. You're going for a more seductive scent. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. I'm going to go back to that in a second. If you're at work, you do not want a scent that kills the whole office. Have you seen Larry? Yeah, no, I've not seen Larry, but I smelt him. You smelled Larry? Oh, I smelt him. That cologne. Oh, it's just gagging me. Who can you tell Larry to tone it down the scent? No, but tell him to watch LALATE. He'll explain how to do this. So you don't want to show up to work and just kill the entire office with the scent you're wearing. Please don't do that. So there's some scents that are absolutely overwhelming. You don't want to wear those to work because you'll be fired. And then you'll need to that what is that provision that says $40 billion of free job training? The recon. You don't want to do that. Then the fresh scent. If you're just doing something relaxing with friends or buddies or coworkers, you want something very, very relaxed. So when shopping for your scents, really focus on those three different universes: work, relaxation, or romance and seduction. Because they're very, very different approaches for why you're wearing a scent. And if you understand that, then you will not buy wrong. Trust me, it is very, very simple concept. You don't want to go into a meeting with the boss, and the boss is like, "What are you trying to seduce me? What is that scent you're wearing?" What are you, Glenn? What are you? It's just, what are you trying to seduce the entire office? Oh, sorry, boss, I wore the wrong scent today. Yeah, that's how you want to separate the scents based on what you're doing. I told you this was going to be a fun video. So first, let's go over each of them one at a time. The seductive scent is probably the most hysterical part of this video, and it's actually the easiest one to do. There's a different way to do seductive scents, and seductive, romance or enticing scents have lots of different universes of them. The way I would buy for that is the following. There's a series of online articles that are published every year that say the top 50 colognes or perfumes of that year. Okay, then when you go on the list, then they break them down from subject matter. And they say the best date cologne, the best romanced cologne. They literally say that. So then they're making it easier for you. So then you're going to read the description, and then they're going to talk about what it smells like. Now, you have to have a little bit of creativity in your mind. If you do not like, if you do not know what wood smells like, go into Home Depot. If you never smelt a piece of lumber because you're just, you're corporate America, you've never smelt a piece of lumber, walk into Home Depot before you buy some cedar scent, because you're going to buy it and you're like, oh, I smell like wood. Well, yeah, because you bought cedar scent. Now, if you like something that's very light and easy breezy, that has sort of a soft fruit, or soft earthy tone, then go with something like that as well. Don't buy something you have no idea what it means. So if it reads something like it has cedar tones with earthy tones of cherry, and you don't know what cherry smells like, well, cherry's a bad example. Raspberry. You don't know what raspberry smells like, and you don't know what Caesar smells like. You have no idea what you're buying. You have no idea what you're buying. You have to have a general idea of what things smell like. And when they write these things up, they're really accurate. They are very, very accurate. It smells like lemon with a scent of mint on top of it. They get these things right. And they say it's for romance. Okay, I like mint, I like lemon, and romance. Done. I'm buying this. It's very, very simple. Then when they rank them, and they rank them every year, top romance scent, number 1, 2, and 3, they get them really right. Trust me, the number 1 versus the number 7 is night and day. You'll smell the number 1, you're like, oh, this is incredible. They were right. This is an absolutely incredible scent. And it's very hard to describe it, maybe, because it's so great. But they get these rankings really, really correct. All right. That is the romance sense. The business sense, or, going to work sense, a little bit hard because there's a couple things at play. First, you have to be able to tolerate this all day. Don't wear something that makes you uncomfortable all day. So there's nothing worse than wearing a scent that just, you're just like, why did I wear this? It's just too overwhelming. I don't like it. So wear something that makes you happy to start with. Second, make sure it's not too powerful for anyone else. And number three, make it sure it's sort of conducive to your work environment. So, you may like it, but remember, it must be conducive. So you may love it, but say, it's a little too flirty. I don't think I should wear this to work. Or I like it, but it's so heavy, people may be gagging when I walk in a room. So there's ways to do this. If you think it's if you think it's an appropriate scent, but it may be too strong for work, use less of it. The one that I really like, and this is a very, very personal touch, is the one that is multi-purpose. There's a lot of sport perfume and colognes, all day, eau de toilettes, that are based upon the concept of maybe you take a very fresh shower with some soap and water and you smell fresh. But they want to bring it a little bit more than that. But it's still in that universe. Those can be used for a lot of different purposes. So if you get one of those correct, you can use it for work, you can use it for going out to the golf course, and you can use it for a romantic dinner. It may be a little bit too underdone for something, but it will never be incorrect. That's how best to say it. Those sport colognes or sport perfumes were created with the concept of you're an active person. You do a lot of stuff. You're on the run. You're a single mom raising 2 kids. You're running to the supermarket. You just want to be fresh, but you also don't want to look like you're about to seduce the guy selling the cabbage in the cabbage department. So you just want to be, you just be ready on the run, and you want to smell fresh, and maybe you're going in and out of meetings and running the supermarket, and you just want to smell ready for the day. Those scents are really beneficial. And trust me, if you get 2 or 3 of them, then you are really comfortable in where you are. And once you got those, then you can branch out. Okay, I'm comfortable. I've gotten 2 or 3 that are multi-purpose that I can use from 9 to 5. Now I can take some risk and maybe go for something a little bit more seductive for a date. I can go more risky for a very big corporate meeting, for maybe we're trying to land a major account. I can maybe go for something a little bit more strong, more out of touch. But once you get those 3 staples, you're ready to go. Here's another tip and no one tells anyone these things, is most people have preferences, and your preferences will always stay in those preferences. So I know with me, I'm always in the same preferences. I will start with something like this, and I'm not going to tell you the name because I can't. I'll start with this, and it'll look sort of like the next one I'm going to get, and the next one will be sort of the same. And they'll be in the same sort of scent, the same sort of strength, and they'll be very different brands, but they're almost the same sort of universe. It's a little bit like a person who always wears the same color when you go out. You always wear purple? I always wear purple. And so don't feel guilty if you seem to keep on defaulting to something that is your universe. You clearly will never like one thing, so don't try to like something you're not going to like. And if you like a lot in that same universe, it's fine. Finally, don't be guilty if you're in the department store to literally try the free scents. I have tried them, and I've had hysterical stories about them. I had one hysterical story right before Christmas. I was in one of the department stores, and near the restroom they had the free scents, and I sprayed one on me, and it smelled great. Again, I had no idea. It was in the universal stuff that I would usually wear. So it's in that light, airy, run-around sports scent. And it was great, but 3 hours passed, I could still smell it. 4 hours passed, I could still smell it. 5 hours passed, I could still smell it. I was like, what is this made of? This is made of Extra strength nuclear version. I've never smelled a scent that doesn't go away. It was really powerful. I don't know if they genetically cloned this or something, but I've never seen a scent that I literally think that everyone could smell me 5 miles away, and it's the same strength, 5 hours later. If that's what you're going for, it worked. And trust me, be relatively ready to take this risk. And the good thing was this is near the restroom. So you don't like it, you go to the restroom and just wash it all off. Coming up next is Afternoons LA at 1 o'clock. And then we have a brand new Afternoons LA at 3 o'clock if you're watching this live at 11. If you're watching this later in the day on home stream stimulus, then next up is Evenings Extra at 8 o'clock. We got a lot of shows throughout the day with new shows on mornings, afternoons, and evenings throughout the day and throughout the night. And of course, overnight crypto as well. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record as well. Oh, I promised to go in the live chat. Sorry, let's stop the music. Let me jump in the live chat and let me see if I can grab the live chat across the board because I was having problems seeing the live chat earlier. Oh, maybe I can't. Oh, my goodness. Let's see if I can jump in the live chat. Let me do it this way. Let me see if I can see you this way and see who's in there. And we can talk about your scents. There's Anne. She says, LA's cologne was on steroids. Yeah, it was on steroids. It's an expensive cologne because it was an expensive department store. Something I would never buy because it's very overpriced. But maybe that's why you buy it, because it's so strong. Here's Paula. Women, I discovered it with my Scent Bird subscription. So hubby bought it for me for Christmas. Oh, so Paula had a recommendation. So there you go. And this actually works. Recommendations for people really, really help. So thank you for that. Great comment. There is Virgil. Cinnamon coffee is the bomb. So Virgil, I just rubbing cinnamon coffee on yourself. That just sounds great. There's Dragon. Just rub some cinnamon on yourself and that's, you're done. You can rub garlic on you, and then you're ready for the overnights videos. My vampires are ready for the overnights videos. So there you go. Marcia says, Elliot, I bet you smell good. I do when I put the effort in. I do when I put the effort in. The toothless lady at the bar said hi. Says, yeah, that's hysterical. Let's see more of the comments. Everyone's cracking up in the live chat. It is hysterical. Sandy, Ella, you're goofy like me. Yeah, scents can be really messed up. If you mess up a scent, you have really messed up stuff for the day. So you need to make sure you're on point. Anne says, I love the smell of lumber at Home Depot. Wonderfulness. So Anne just walks into the lumber department and says, let me just put my arms and rub them on the lumber. I'm done. I'm done. And then someone else just goes to the cinnamon department in the department store, is just ready to rock and roll. Some people are making jokes about what sirloin smells like. I'm not going there for that one. So there you go. Join me next is Afternoons LA. Heats up at 1 o'clock, and then we have our brand new Afternoons LA at 3 o'clock. If you're watching this later in the day with home stream stimulus, then coming up next is Evenings Extra. Stay informed, stay focused, and subscribe. I want you, Positive Incredible family, hit that subscribe button. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful day, and stay with LA for more.